right, hey everybody. It's Monday, August 26, 2024. Luther Wilson III here, real estate pro and the Kansas City market representative for Upside Property Services and its affiliate companies as well. And today's video, I wanted to talk about what I've been up to lately, do not so much a market update, but more of a company update and kind of a personal update, what I've been working on the last few months, because it's a different ballgame now. The market has shifted the last 6 to 12 plus months, and it's forced me and my clients and my colleagues in the real estate space to pivot pretty hard. And so, as most of you know, Upside Property Services is the real estate brokerage. It's just me for now. I'm a broker for Kansas and Missouri, and most everything I do has to deal with investor relations, investment properties, and that sort of thing. And I made some strong adjustments the last year, and so much has happened. And I could, talk about a bunch of different things, but I want to stay focused on the real estate stuff mostly and what I see as some opportunities going forward too. And so I was doing a lot last year. There was the real estate brokerage, of course. I was doing my own investments with partners, and I was taking on clients, helping them through the investment process. And then I was also doing property management for clients, and then on top of that, project management of helping to oversee the renovation projects. And I was also doing some lending or loan brokering. All of that I was doing last year, and it got to be somewhat overwhelming. And so I cut a lot of it out, and went basically, or I'm still in the process of going from 13 different entities down to maybe 7 or 8 different entities. And I stepped away from the property management last year. I haven't taken on any clients this year as far as investors, helping them, with renovation projects. And I've been more focused on, instead of 6 to 8 different things, 3 or 4 different things now. So where to go with this? There's just we've seen a lot. I've seen a lot in the real estate space. I've been a realtor for about 10 years, and I've been investing in one way or another since 2008, kind of on and off. And over the years, of course, there's been changes, and I've learned a lot and grown. And after a while, I had to figure out, like, okay, what is it that I truly desire? Where do I see opportunities? And how can me and my clients make that happen? Okay. And with all the experience that I had, brokering deals, doing the property management, the leasing, the maintenance, coordinating, everything as far as management goes, and then even working closely with contractors on the renovation side, and so forth. And then I started, doing more investing on my own and working with partners. I realized, like, okay, with all the experience I had, like, in order to grow, I knew that it was going to require capital. And I knew that odds are I was going to need to use financing of some sort. So it wasn't really until 2019 that I started to put the word out, literally updated my resume, uploaded it to Bigger Pockets, and started putting the word out saying, hey, here's my experience. Here's what I'm looking to do. Here's where I see some opportunities in the Kansas City market. Who wants to partner up? Who's got money and who wants to partner up? I can handle the operations. You put up the money and help out here and there if you want, type of thing. And 2019, to today, I've worked with a couple different partners, and we've been able to grow. And so something that I realize, and I've been sharing with more investors too, is, okay, the importance of capital, liquid capital, and financing. And I think early on, we got to figure out how to get in the game, okay? And so for most investors, for most people, they may not want to go the realtor route. So, okay, could they do construction or property management? Maybe. A lot of investors don't want to go that route either, okay? So what's a good way for most people? They think they can get in and make some things happen pretty quick, which in some cases they can. Okay, they can find deals. They can be a deal finder, they can bird dog, they can wholesale, they can assign, and then from there, maybe they can gain some more experience and figure out which direction to go from there based on their intention, their goals, and so forth. So for me, and most of my clients, it's been about growing portfolios. Since day one for me, it was about, okay, I know that I can have a portfolio that produces cash flow. And I can do that in a way that, allows me more time freedom, maybe a little bit more peace of mind. Still gonna be work involved, still gonna be challenges and so forth. But I had seen my father do it for 20 plus years, and I'd seen his students do it. And I was like, all right, like I know it's possible, right? Like there's plenty of examples. And I learned from other real estate teachers and trainers over the years, some of the old school guys, Ron LeGrand, Carlton Sheets, Richard Powelson, Robert Kiyosaki, and the list goes on. And so I knew that there was a way to make it happen. And I guess I just needed to go through some things and figure out, what I needed to learn, how I needed to grow in order to make that happen. And I realized, okay, the capital and the financing is absolutely key. And then besides that, having a method or a model or an investment strategy to then be able to deploy that capital, all right? So it's just been a process or a journey, if you will, over the last decade and a half, trying to figure out how to get to it and doing my best to keep it real with people all along the way, okay? And so fast forward into today, I talked a little bit about doing all the real estate operations stuff last year, breaking away from property management to where I am today, where it's the brokerage, doing sales as a realtor, as a real estate broker. There's my investment company, which, cash flow, long-term investments, all right? And then the third thing is the lending. I've been helping broker loans. And so last year, 2023, with all of the stuff that I was doing, what I just mentioned, and on top of that, the property management, helping other investors, doing the project management, I was averaging about 3 or 4 transactions a month. This year, I've been averaging about 2 or 3 transactions a month. And I noticed most of those transactions this year have been either loans that I help broker or they have been seller finance transactions. Last year, it was a lot of seller finance transactions, a handful of renovation projects, a couple of leases, me helping a few clients acquire properties, and then me and 2 partners acquiring properties too. So there was a lot there. So I scaled it back a little bit, still doing more than I probably should, but I'm dishing out a lot more, and I'm a lot more selective about the investors that I work with, because now, especially, second half of 2024, it's a different ball game now. Okay, so inflation, we got interest rates, we got inventory levels, all these different factors, the political stuff. It's an election year. This year, it seems that a lot of investors have pulled back, or for various reasons. And I think there's definitely more fear out there. And I think part of it is investors ran out of money, okay? The traditional models, which I did a post on the other day, the tried and, what may be considered tried and true fix and flip or long-term rentals, a lot of investors realize how flawed those models are now that we've had a shift in the market. And so I think we were due for something. And so going forward, helping investors through the process. Okay, so there's been a pullback. All right, investors I think have run out of money. I think they got to get out of debt. They got to pay off the short-term debt that they took out somehow, some way. They got to get through the renovation projects that they took on earlier this year or even last year, or in some cases the year before that. And they have to figure out, okay, if they do want to get back in the game, investors who want to continue moving forward or new investors, it's like, okay, we're going to need more money, all right? And we're going to need to use a strategy or a model that's more effective. And so that's what I've been talking about so much more on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. Track me on there, YouTube, of course, putting the word out there about what I believe is a great way to make that happen. My focus, is B-class and some C-class single-family homes. Buy them, hold them for years, 5 to 10 plus years, if longer if possible. And we offer seller financing. Okay, so that's another thing. And I'll probably end up doing a video in the future about seller financing and the methods that I've been using and my clients and some of my colleagues have been using, and how that may need to change now and going forward because of the number of volume that we're doing, again, the cost of things, and then also being mindful of regulation, mortgage law, and so forth. So, there's so much I could say. I just kind of wanted to do an update of where I'm at today. And a lot of what I do now, 2024, is trying to figure out like who's got capital, right? And who's ready to do something with it. For me, in the form of a JV or partnership type of model where we can put the money in, let it sit, produce, it's gonna produce cash flow. Our investment model produces cash flow, which most investors cannot say that, okay? And so helping investors partnering with them, those capital investors who want to work with a seasoned operator. I've been making calls, I've been doing outreach on social media, networking, and so forth. And then as a broker, I'm looking for investors that maybe I can help broker a seller finance transaction. Those are two big things, right? And so keep me in mind, if you're an investor and you have properties in or around Kansas City, single family homes, and you may be tired of the traditional models. If you are dealing with rentals, there's a good chance you've experienced at least one or two property management companies. There's a good chance that you've done some self-management, so you know what it's like. With our investment model, offering seller financing, receiving cash flow, a check, a payment each month, eliminating all or almost all of the normal expenses that you would experience with rentals, come on. And then for those that are fix and flipping, we know that a lot of you are getting exhausted. Like it just is what it is. And so if you're looking to keep some of those properties, okay, the financing, the underlying debt is key. And so that's something else that I've been helping my clients with, is their financing, getting the underlying debt squared away before we do the seller finance transaction on the back end. That's huge. All right. So it's Upside Property Services, investor financing, seller financing, helping investors grow portfolios. That's what I've been about this year. I'm looking to take that to the next level. So definitely keep me in mind. I'll have more videos coming out in the future, and I'll be doing more posts on social media too. So reach out, hit me up. Happy to talk shop with you, do a consultation, or just talk about real estate if there's a particular situation or scenario that you need some guidance on. If I can't assist you, there's a good chance I can get you plugged in with somebody who can. So thanks again for your time. Have a great day. Peace.